Yo, what's going on, y'all? How y'all doing? It's T the Best, and we're here with a Destiny 2 video. And this is a little different than our normal ones. So I kind of wanted to have a conversation about support weapons in Destiny. If you haven't already and you've been playing lately, you notice the Lumina has come out. It is actually the very first support weapon that can heal other Guardians. Beforehand, we used to have the Red Death from Destiny 1, the Crimson in Destiny 2, and of course the healing abilities of the Dawn Blade, or whatever it's called for the Warlock. That's currently the only healing things we've had. We've always had weapons or armor that heals yourself, and never a weapon that heals other people. And does it have a place in Destiny? I guess that's just the question we kind of just have today. So I kind of wrestled back and forth with myself on this one. You know, I was making videos on, a live commentary, me showing off the weapon, and just a bunch of other things. But I kind of just wanted to sit down and just maybe have a conversation about the weapon in general and just support weapons in the game. So for those that don't know, Lumina, the way it works is you get a noble round. And the way to get a noble round is you have to eliminate a guardian, or in PvE kill either a fallen, taken, whatever you're fighting against, and you get a noble round from it. And when you go to hit fire that weapon, you heal somebody by about 75%. It's not a full heal, it's just 75% of their shield plus HP. And I think it's an interesting concept. I think it's their very first test at support weapons being in the game. I think we'll probably end up getting a lot more as the game starts moving towards a MMO aspect. But at the moment, this is kind of like our very first one that heals other people. And I think if it's done right, it's something that's actually worth keeping in the game. Now, of course, the Warlock has its super ability where it can heal other people that are standing inside of the well. You also have what's the Warlock's other ability? Whatever the other ability it has, I'm drawing a huge blank on it right now. And then, of course, you have the healing grenade. And those are all nice, and they're done pretty well. But this kind of takes it to another level. And I think it's worth exploring, it's worth having, but it doesn't have much utility as far as a weapon goes. Because first off, you have to kill an enemy. There's the first part. And second, you have to run and collect the orb from that enemy. Now you could have killed somebody across the map or something, and you have to put yourself in a line of fire to get that orb. And then once you have the orb, you have a noble round, and you can shoot at anybody and get them healed for 75%. Yeah, that's interesting. I think they should expand a little bit on support weapons. If they're gonna go this route of where they can add healing weapons into the game, explore more on it. Let's see more things like this. Instead of just the Warlock having a healing ability where it can heal others and itself, maybe the Titan and the Warlock and the Hunter has one. Maybe not as strong as the Warlocks, but maybe they have one. Allow us to, if you're going to go in the step of where we first thought a Titan was a tank, a Hunter was a DPS person, and a Warlock was a healer. Let's start expanding on that a little bit more. Add these roles into the game. I think it'll be a very interesting thing to do, because as it currently stands, there's no need for it. There's no need for the Lumina, because it doesn't, you have the Warlock. The Warlock does it. That's pretty much simple right there. The Warlock has 3 different things that it can heal you with. I think they need to add support weapons into the game. It will make it a different dynamic if you add a way to heal others instead of just healing yourself, like the Crimson and the Red Death. And of course, some exotics out there that do it. But I think it's worth looking into. I would like to see it, because then you can start adding these other things into it, right? You can start adding maybe this tank weapon, or this DPS, or not necessarily DPS weapon, because we have a lot of those, but adding a tank weapon into the game, adding these different utilities of weapons into the game will be interesting. The second part about it, if they add in healing weapons, you know, more healing weapons, more ways to heal other players, you know, more so for PvE than PvP, you know, change up the way that you're able to view people's health. Okay, so currently you cannot view other people's health unless you pay attention to that 1 second where their armor is broken. You know, you can see when somebody's armor breaks. So instead of that, or, you know, the little exclamation point that pops up above people's head, maybe add like a little health bar. You know, if you aim at somebody, you can be like, oh, that person needs some health, I'll shoot my gun at them and heal them, or whatever the capacity of it is. You know, maybe that way, that would be interesting. Change up the way that people can see other people's health. Because then if you have a person that's your healer, you can be like, oh, I see that guy needs some health, let me stroll over there, oh, let me throw this grenade, or let me shoot them with this weapon, or something like that. Granted, doing this, you will probably have to change up your weapon system again. You know, now no longer will it be primary, secondary, heavy. It'll probably be primary, utility weapon will probably be added in there somewhere, and then you have your secondary or something like that. That's probably the part that's going to be the most difficult to do, is by, you know, being able to switch up the utilities, because we had artifacts beforehand in Destiny 1 from Rise of Iron. Artifacts did really well, except for when people figured out how to exploit them, and we had a little issue. Looking at there was a rune from Destiny 1 that did that, and people would sit in the back of the map. They'll allow this artifact to essentially heal you and give you super energy. Most broken artifact in the game. But that's neither here nor there. So we have kind of explored this before, so maybe we can expand on it a little bit. Add a utility slot, add some way of being able to heal somebody. So like, hey, if you're X class, this class has the ability to unlock healing items. You know, during a raid or something, or during a strike, you can be like, oh, here's this healing item, take it. That would be very interesting. Will it add another layer to the game? It's hard to say. It is really hard to say, because the game currently in a state right now, I wouldn't say it's the most difficult thing to play. You know, you can always hide behind things and get your health back. You know, there's no real like danger moment in the game at the moment. There's always ways to heal yourself. You know, granted, they have the recovery stat, they have the resilience stat, and it seems like they do something, but it doesn't seem like it does a lot. And that's always been something that they've had difficult with. If they can expand on healing weapons, support weapons, you know, we had the Titan bubble beforehand. The Titan bubble was amazing in Destiny 1, not that great in Destiny 2. We had weapons of light, we had armor of light. You know, we had different things in Destiny 1 that showed that there's a healing or buffing aspect, but not so much in Destiny 2. So it would be interesting if they can add it. I say add utility weapons, I say add support weapons. Give us something in that nature maybe, and start trying out more. You've tried it with the Crimson. Okay weapon, not the greatest. I mean, it's a hand cannon that's a third 3 burst, not the greatest weapon. And now you have a hand cannon that can heal others as long as you are getting kills with it. Nice touch, nice iteration of it. You know, you have to get a kill in order for it to work. I like it. Maybe expand a little bit more on it. Maybe so like, hey, you know, you've gotten, you know, your health is at such and such, here's a round, use it to heal somebody else too. Or that's not that great, whatever the case is. Let's start adding more support weapons, add support items, add support classes, you know, something of those nature. Let's start messing around with this idea of adding little classes into the game and divulge or look more into it. That's my kind of take on it. I want support weapons. I want to see the way that Destiny can evolve from having a support weapon. Who knows, maybe it'll be for the better. Maybe this will allow them to add in bosses that deal a little bit more damage and require you to have a healer somewhere, you know, somebody that's like strictly just healing wise and stuff like that. You know, their job is like, okay, I can still do damage, but I also can make sure I keep the team alive, instead of, you know, just the fact of, oh, you know, hey, go hide behind a corner or something. I feel like it's worth looking into. I'm not a game developer. I don't know how bad or how horrible that would be to implement. Probably a lot of like, there's probably a lot of implications that come with it, and it's probably a lot harder than I'm thinking it is. But I would like to see it. I would like to see it happen. Let's add them in. Let's see how it works. Let's expand on the Lumina. Let's expand on the Crimson. You know, add in a Red Death that does something of the sort. You know, I killed this enemy, I automatically have this healing buff that I can pass on to somebody else. Yeah, something like that. Maybe a little bit better. But that's kind of what I wanted to have this conversation about. Let me know in the comment section what y'all think about support weapons being added into the game. Should they be added? Should they not be added? And yeah, tell me what y'all think. But this gameplay is kind of coming to a close. There's probably a bunch of clips about the Lumina or something in the background. Who knows? Something Destiny related. I know that much. But if you haven't already, be sure to hit that like button, hit that subscribe button. Let us know, support weapons, are they worth being in Destiny? Or should they not even touch Destiny? Should they just not even have the thought that support weapons should be in the game? Let me know. Tell me what y'all think. Till the next video, I'll catch y'all. Peace out, y'all.